very impersonal. You're 32,000 feet overhead here, and you see gross geometric patterns. You don't see people.
I did not hear anything. I just saw the flash.
Her name is Tazu Shibama. She was 40 years old, an English teacher, living and working here in Hiroshima the day the bomb was dropped. His name is Jacob Beser. He was 24, a radar specialist, the only crewman to fly in the two planes that bombed both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He had never been back, never visited either city until we brought him here to Ground Zero at Hiroshima.
As we were coming in, the city was there glimmering in the heat. It sort of set me back in time a few years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed at Hiroshima Airport.
Unlike most of the Enola Gay's crew members, Jacob Beser knew exactly what kind of bomb they had on board that day 40 years ago. He had to. It was his job to make sure that the bomb blew up in the air above the location where it would do the most damage. Today, that location is known as Peace Memorial Park.
I'm just truly amazed that if you didn't know where you were and what had happened here, you'd never believe it if somebody told you.
The park consists of one memorial after another, 40 in all, including the cenotaph where the names of more than 100,000 bomb victims are engraved, the mound where the cremated ashes of tens of thousands of bodies were placed in a mass grave, the river where the dying drowned and the living cooled themselves, and the A-bomb dome, the last standing evidence of the devastation.
Here you were, one airplane, one bomb, and you created all this havoc. By the time I got to the window, this city was gone.
What did you hear after the explosion? What were people saying?
If you don't believe me, I'll tell you. My God, look at that son of a bitch go.
I was in the darkness. The house was blown up and came down in small pieces and covered me up. There was no way to get out.
Tazu Shibama was eating breakfast at 8:15 when she saw the flash and the house collapsed on top of her. She thought she was alone, but in fact, her next-door neighbor had been blown 50 yards and landed in the rubble of her home.
And he found me there, pulled me out. That's the only way I was saved. Today, we want to talk about American way of breakfast. Usually, some eggs.
At age 80, Mrs. Shibama still teaches the English she learned as a child from Christian missionaries and perfected while attending college in Nashville before returning to teach in Hiroshima. Half of her students were killed in the atomic explosion.
Everything was so different. Whole Hiroshima city was broken down to pieces and flattened down on the ground. Oh, hundreds and hundreds of people already, their hair burned, their clothes torn down, and they're half naked. Most of them burned, and they just walk like ghosts. They did not speak. The shock was so great. I think they lost their words.
Every morning at 8:15, the bells chime in Peace Memorial Park. They ring out over a prosperous city with new buildings, wide streets, and a winning baseball team. There's also a 170-bed A-bomb hospital, which offers free medical care to survivors, many of whom suffer from radiation-related illnesses. Each day, tourists visit the A-bomb Museum in Peace Park and see the scale model of the city after the blast, the replica of the human suffering, the photos of the victims. In the park itself, survivors, bearing the wounds of war, tell their tales, and visitors ring the peace bell.
I wouldn't say that it was our proudest moment. I don't think any act of war is a proud moment.
Do you have any feelings of guilt?
No. Why should I? As an American serviceman, was doing what was asked of me. I had the opportunity to back out. I didn't have to go.
He did his duty as he was told. I'm sorry it happened to be a dropping atomic bomb on Hiroshima City, but I have no bad feeling about that.
Very interesting.
Very nice. Well,
Tazushi-bama-san, this is
Good
Jacob
morning.
well,
Beser.
so good to see you.
Nice to see you. I don't think I could be as forgiving as they are. They say to me, oh, don't be concerned. It was an act of war. You did what you had to do. I don't think I could be that forgiving.
Please tell your American friends that the education is the most important thing. The children should be taught to learn and work together with friends. And that is the way to make this world a very happy place to live.
According to Japanese tradition, if you tie a chain of 1,000 paper cranes, death can be delayed. Years ago, a young bomb victim died just 36 cranes short of her goal. But her classmates finished the job, and thousands of others ever since have kept her story alive.
These people have experienced this unlike anybody else in this world. I think they have an obligation not to let the world forget.
It should not be used again anywhere, anytime. Now, nobody could survive.